Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel on Engineering Mathematics by Dr. Navneet. Friends, during my teaching experience, I realized that when we start any new chapter or unit from the syllabus, then there are some questions in the student mind. So these questions are, so for learning this chapter, how many basic results are useful? So which are the results which are exactly useful for learning this chapter, and whether these results are known to us or any new result is required to learn this chapter. So lot of confusions are there in student mind while starting the new chapter. So to avoid all these confusions and to solve the student problem, I have prepared this video lecture. So this video lecture is related to the basic results which are required to learn the concept of Fourier series. So now for learning this Fourier series concept, we are discussing here the basic results. Now first basic results which we required here is sine of 0 is 0. Again, the value of cos of 0 is 1. Then similarly sine of n pi is 0 and that of cos of n pi is minus 1 raised to n. So if the value of n is odd, then we get negative sign. If the value of n is even, then we get here as positive sign. So this is the particular case. If a value of n is even, then we get this value as 0. Again here the value of n is even. 2n means that is even value. If we multiply n by any even number, then this whole number become even. So this value is 1. This is the particular case of this second result. Now friends, these are the fourth results, first, second, third and fourth. So these results already we use in learning linear differential equation in Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation. So here for learning Fourier series also we required these four results. So these results are 2 times sine a cos b is equal to sine of a plus b plus sine of a minus b. Then one next result is 2 times cos a sine b is equal to sine of a plus b minus sine of a minus b. Then 2 times cos a cos b is equal to cos of a plus b plus cos of a minus b. The next result is 2 times sine a sine b is equal to cos of a minus b minus cos of a plus b. So to find out the integration of product of two terms, so we are using this concept, so that after applying this result we get single function, so that we get the standard form to apply for solving the examples. Now friends, these results are related to the derivative and these results are related to the integration. So these are very well familiar to you. So derivative of x raised to n is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1, whereas integration of x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So plus c is there, so purposefully I have never mentioned the value of c here, so everywhere c term is there. So now derivative of cos x is minus sin x, whereas integration of sin x dx is equal to minus cos x. Then derivative of sin x is cos x and integration of cos x is sin x. Similarly, derivative of e raised to x is e raised to x and integration of e raised to x is also e raised to x. Then we know that derivative of constant so is 0, whereas integration of constant is constant into x. So these are the results which are related to the derivative and integration. So these results we require to learn the concept of Fourier series. Then friends, we are learning the next concept which is called as a generalized rule for integration by parts. So up to 12th standard you people already know the rule for integration by parts. So this is the generalization for integration by parts rule. So this rule says that integration of u v dx is equal to u into v1 minus u dash v2 plus u double dash v3 and so on. So that means here the meaning of u means given function, u dash means first derivative of u with respect to x, then u double dash means second derivative with respect to x, u triple dash means third derivative, and so on up to nth derivative. Similarly, so this v1, v2, v3 stand for, so v1 stand for integration of v1, v2 stand for integration of v1, and v3 stand for integration of v2, and so on. So generally, so to find out the integration of product of two term, so we are using the general rule for integration by parts. And this rule is also called as Leibniz theorem for successive differentiation. And most important thing about this theorem is that, so out of this u and v, so derivative of one term will get vanish after successive differentiation. That means after finite number of steps, some one term derivative will get cancel, or that derivative becomes 0. Then and then this general rule for integration by parts is applicable. Now for solving each and every example of this Fourier series, we require the general rule for integration by parts. So now here one example is given. So integration of x square e raised to x dx. So here if we try to solve this example with the help of general rule for integration by parts, then value of u is x square and that of v is e raised to x. Choose the value of u in such a way that whose derivative vanishes as early as possible. That means we choose here u as x square. So after second derivative, it's become 0. Then choose the value of v whose derivative may or may not be vanish. So now according to this rule, so this u as it is, that means x square as it is. So v1 means integration of v. So integration of x is e raised to x is e raised to x minus u dash. So this minus as it is, u dash means derivative of x square, which is 2x. Then v2 means integration of v1. So integration of e raised to x is again e raised to x. Then next sign is plus. So plus, so u double dash, that means derivative of 2x. So this minus sign is because of the result. So derivative of 2x is 2. So into integration of e raised to x is e raised to x. So this is the first example. Now one more example to understand this general rule for integration by parts is integration of x cube sine of x dx. So now according to this function, so u means x cube and that of v means sine of x. So now keep this u as it is, that means x cube as it is. Then v1, so v1 stand for integration of v, that means integration of sine x. Integration of sine x is minus cos x. So here also given, so integration of sine x dx is equal to minus cos x. So that's why this term is minus cos x. Now next is minus sign, then u dash means derivative of x cube. So this is 3x square. Then v2 means integration of v1. So this is the value of v1, its integration. So this minus sign as it is, then integration of cos is sine. So that's why this term is here. Now this result is plus, sign is plus. Then next is u double dash. So u double dash is, this is derivative of this term. So derivative of this term is 6x. We never consider here the sign because we get this sign because of the given generalized rule formula. So that's why don't consider this sign. So only take the derivative of 3x square, which is cx. Then again integration of sine, which is cos. Again derivative of 6x is 6 and integration of cos is sine. So in this way we can apply the general rule for integration by parts. This rule is very important for learning the concept of Fourier series. Now so there are some cases where this rule fails. That means just now I have mentioned that, so this rule is applicable only when the derivative out of this two term, derivative of one term must be 0 after finite number of steps. Then and then this rule is applicable. So but there are some cases where derivative never becomes 0 after finite number of steps, or for example, so here e raised to alpha x and sine of beta x. So derivative of e raised to x is never 0, or derivative of cos of beta x is also never 0 after finite number of steps. In that case, the general rule for integration by parts is not applicable. So whenever general rule for integration by parts is non-applicable, then use these two rules. So this rule says that integration of e raised to alpha x sine of beta x dx is equal to e raised to alpha x, this term as it is, divided by alpha square plus beta square, then in bracket this is alpha, so alpha into cos of beta x plus beta times sine of beta x. Then similarly integration of e raised to alpha x sine of beta x dx is equal to e raised to alpha x upon alpha square plus beta square, in bracket this is alpha times sine of beta x minus beta times cos of beta x. So friends, in short, to find out the Fourier series expansion for exponential function, then use these two rules in place of general rule for integration by parts. That means, in simple word, so the general rule for integration by parts is not applicable for finding the Fourier series expansion for exponential term. That means e raised to x, e raised to alpha x, and so on. So for such type of term, use this rule for finding the integration of product of two term, out of which one term is exponential and second term is trigonometric, either in terms of sine or cos. Now, along with these results, we also required the information for even and odd function. So a function f of x is said to be even. So we know this definition, which is simple: if f of minus x is equal to f of x. That means when we change the sign of functions remain same, then such a function is called as even function. So for better understanding, here two examples are given. So first example is f of x is equal to cos x. So now replace x by minus x. So if we change this x by minus x, then we get this as cos of minus x. But we know that cos of minus theta equal to cos theta. So then this become cos of minus theta is equal to cos of minus x is equal to cos x, and which is same as the given function. That means f of minus x is equal to f of x. That means after changing sign, functions remain same. That's why this function is even. Similarly, one more example: if f of x is equal to x square. So if we change sign from x to minus x, then this is minus x square, and we know that even square is always same, which is positive, so which is x square. That means we get the original function as it is. That's why this function is even. So this is the definition of even function and examples. Now let's define one more type of function, which is called as odd function. A function f of x is said to be odd if f of minus x is equal to minus time f of x. That means when we change the sign of given function, then minus becomes common from that function, that is called as odd function. So here two examples are again given. So function f of x is equal to sin x. If we replace x by minus x, then we get this as sine of minus theta. Then we know sine of minus x. Then we know the formula: sine of minus x is equal to minus times sin x. So we can write this as minus times sin x. So we get this as minus time original function. That means if we take minus sign common, then this function is odd function. So similarly, f of x is equal to x cube. That means if we replace x by minus x, then we get this as minus time x cube, which is equal to minus time f of x. So this function is odd. That means f of x is equal to x cube is odd. So this is the definition of even function and odd function. So we also required this information for learning the Fourier series. And most important thing is that, so the function of the form 10 raised to x, e raised to x. So that means exponential function. So such type of functions are neither even nor odd. So friends, these are the important definitions for learning the Fourier series. Out of this definition, so this first definition, this second, this definition, then again this rule, this rule, this rule, so this one, and this one. Again this general rule for integration by parts. So out of this, all are important, no doubt. But out of this, so the rules which I have marked, so these rules are definitely useful for solving each and every example of the Fourier series. So we are applying all these rules which is marked by this sign for solving each and every example of the Fourier series. So just now we have discussed about the basic results which are related to the Fourier series. Friends, I hope you like this lecture. So thanks for watching this video lecture. So thanks to one and all. Thank you.